Alright, so welcome back again. My name is Jesse, and in this wonderful tutorial, we'll be trying to see how to add a simple login to our Streamlit app, right? So in most cases, when you build the app, sometimes you want to restrict access to some certain part of your app. So let's see how to do that. So this is a simple workaround. So I just come back to the sidebar here. If I go to the sidebar, see if I come to the app, this is a simple login, the home page. Then from here, I can see that we have three different sections. We have the home, we have the login, and we have the sign up. We have the sign up here, right? So if I go to the login, right, I have to log in before I'll be able to have access to most of the features there. And then you can see from here that this is empty, right? So if I log in, like let's say with admin, that is the password, and the password is also going to be admin. So the username is admin, the password is admin. Then I click on the login, right? Using the checkbox. We are not using a button, we are using a checkbox. I'll explain why later. It says now just log in perfectly. So logged in as admin. Then I can come back to this session here. Then I can see that I can select several options. I can have the analytics, then I can do whatever I want to do. I can have the profile, and I can see all the various users right within it, which is another database with the password admin, and then the username admin and the password admin. So in case I want to try another one, I can also come back again. So if I change the username to something else, this, and then I go back to this one, so now it's giving us an error. So incorrect username and password, right? Very interesting. So for me to create a new password, I just come back to the sidebar here. Then I just come back to the sign up here. Then when I go to the sign up, it's going to give me the option of creating a new account. So let's go for this. Right. So if I come back to this sign up, I'm going to create a new account. So let's call this one as I say test1. Right. That's the username, and then the password is going to be 12345. So if I click on the sign up, now it's going to add it perfectly for us. So it's going to give us that you have successfully created an account. Go to the login menu to login. So if I come back to the sidebar, now if I go to the login, I can use the new one I created, which was admin. It was test1 and then 12345. So test1. Then from here, I can just go to 12345, right? So you can check it to be sure, right? Then I click on the login. Then it's going to tell me that I've successfully logged in, and I can come back, check my analytics, check my profile, and then these are sessions that are restricted to the user, right? Very interesting. So that is something very simple. So you see that this is not the best. We are supposed to find a means of hashing these ones, right, to keep it secure. So let's see how to build this thing. We are building the simplest stuff to understand the concept. Then later on we will add the same idea to our blog that we built previously. So let's start working with it. So I'll close everything and we start from scratch. So I'll come back here. So let's create another folder. So let's call this one as, let me make it bigger. It's going to be mkdir. I'm just going to go straight away with something like, let's say, login app, right? Then cd into my login app. Then I'll create a file called app.py, right? So let's start with this. It's going to be using Sublime to open it. So Sublime app.py. Then we will start writing some code. So let me push this test there and set up my place. Perfect. Right, perfect. So this is where we'll be writing our code, right? So let me close this one, which is the one we were running on. So I'll close it. Perfect. So let's start working with it. So I'm just going to do the basic stuff, then we continue. So it's going to be import. Let's make it bigger. Import Streamlit as st. Then as we always do, create our main function. Then we are going to add in something very simple. So there's going to be a description of the app. So there's going to be a simple login app, right? Something like that. Then from here, I'll just move on straight away to create my if main to close the app. So all the code will go in between this particular function. Then we'll be running the function with this option. Perfect. So let's start with it. So I'm just going to create my first menu. So let's make it like st.title. So simple login app, right? Something like that. Then from here, I'll just create my menu. So the menu is going to take two main options. We're going to have our home, which is going to be the default one. That's if the person comes to the app, that is what it's going to see first. Then I'm going to go with my login. How that is going to give us the option of going to some other place. Then finally, I'll just go to my sign up, right? Perfect. So these are the three main places. So after the person has logged in, you'll be given access to other features of the app, which is restricted for people that have signed up already. So now let's create our choice. then st.sidebar.select, can't spell select, select box, then I'll pass in my menu here, right? Perfect. So that is a basic idea. Now that is the basic idea, right? So now from here we can just do something like this, that if the person selects home, it's going to be if the choice is equal to home, then just give us st.subheader. We call this one as home, right? Perfect. Then this is default that anybody can visit. Then we're going to change this one to the login option. So if it's login, then you're going to restrict it to something. So it's going to be st.subheader, call it as login, or we can call it as login section. You can just give it any name. Then the final one is going to be my sign up. So else if, you can make it else if you want. Choice equal to sign up, then st.subheader, then I'll call it as create account, create new account, right? That is all, right? So let's run our simple app. So this is a basic skeleton of our app. So let's run it. I'll come back to my terminal, the same place, then I'll run it with, you can see that it is there, right? So Streamlit run my app.py. So going to open it for us, then you open it. So whilst it is opening, let's see what we'll be doing. So until the person logs inside, the person can only just access the home and then the sign up, right? So when the person logs inside, we'll be giving him the option of accessing some certain features, which is going to be, so after he has logged in, you have access to the other features, right? So I'll paste in the URL that's open from our browser here. From our browser, we realize from our terminal that's open this particular browser, right? Which is a simple stuff that we have. Perfect. So let's check it out. So if I go back to the sidebar here, it's like we have our sidebar, we have our home, we have our login, we have our sign up, right? All the sessions are working perfectly there. So let's create our login session so that the person can also log inside. I'll come back here, then I'll just go with st. Let's make it like my username. Right, then going to be st.sidebar. You're putting it at the sidebar dot test input. I'm going to call it as user name, right? Something very simple. Then the next one is going to be our password for login. So st.sidebar dot test input. Then this is going to be password. Then I'm going to give it a type. It's going to password to hide it from any other person, right? But that is something very simple. Then we need to create a button, right, to be able to allow it. So if I go with, so I can just make it like this option for the button. I can make it like if st.button, right? But the moment you make it like a button, it will be difficult to, because anytime you click on the button to refresh again. So the best option is to, let's try that one. So let's go and log in, right? Then give the person something to do. So let's call st.write or success login. So log in as the user dot format, then it's going to be the username, right? So let's save it and see what we have done so far. So if I save it, let's always rerun. So let me put myself down here, right? Okay, so if I come back, let's go back to go with always rerun. Now if I come back to the login session, we have our login here, right? So we have our username, you can type in something and the password. So let's also make this button sidebar. So sidebar, so the button also come down here. Perfect, right? So we have a place that the person can enter in the details. So if I enter in a name, like let's say test1, or we can make it like, let's say Jesse, everybody love his name. Then the password is going to be 1 2 3 4 5, so I can see it, right? So the essence of this type is equal to password is to keep it to be encrypted, right? So that nobody can see it unless the person click on hide password test, right? Then I click on the login. If I click on login, it's going to log in. Consider I'm showing it logged in as Jesse. Very interesting. But this is good But if I refresh it and I come back again, it's working perfectly, right? So that is how to create the login. But to keep it to be stuck here, right, you have to use the checkbox. So let's try that one out. So I'll come back to the same place. Let me explain what I mean. So I'm going to create another option. So after the person has logged in successfully, you want to give him the option of doing something that is restricted to only logged in users. So let's create another one called my tax. It's going to be st.select box, which is going to be the tax the person can do. Then from here it's going to be, he can now do some things like maybe he can add a post, he can check for the analytics of the apps, right, something like that, and maybe he can also check for all the profile of people that have logged in, because he's now the admin. Perfect. So I can just do from here, can use the same option as if my tax, right, is equal to, let's expand it so that you can see it very well. So if my tax is equal to add post, then the person can also add a post. So st.subheader add your post, right, something like that. Then next one's going to be else if the tax is equal to analytics, the person can be able to see all the analytics. So st.subheader analytics, and finally you can just go with the simple one of else if the tax the person has selected is equal to profiles, the person can be able to see all the profiles, which is going to be st.subheader user profile, something like that. So if I save it now, it's going to come perfectly well. So let's go back to the sidebar and check what you have done. So if I log in, that's logged in perfectly. I said that's logged in, and now you can see that we have our tax here, right? We can see all our tax. Let me take up myself. You can see all our tax here, right? So the person can select add post, analytics, profile, and everything is working. But you realize that the moment I selected it, the thing vanished to the login page, right? That's error there. So the solution to this is to change the login to a checkbox, right? So that the person will still be signed in. That's the basic idea. So if I go back again to the same thing I did, login, everything is working as expected. But if I change the tax to a different tax, like let's say analytics, the whole app go back to the initial one, which is not the best. So let's see how to fix that. Right, so let's fix that bug. It's not a bug, but let's fix that one because it's not nice. So the best way is that I'll just come back to this place and change it from button to checkbox. Right, checkbox. If I go with checkbox now, it's going to change it perfectly. So let's go back to the sidebar, the login page. Now if I click on the login, this is a checkbox. That means that it's going to be not just logging in only, but going to keep the person signed in, right? So if I click on it now, it is there perfectly. So if I click on the tax option, choose a different one, it is still there. Nothing has changed, right? Because of the checkbox, right? It is still stayed signed in. That is the basic idea behind that. Very interesting. Now that is how to do a simple login to restrict the user. So if I come back here, you can see that now we have only two options. If I go to the home, we can't get the user profile. If I go back to, for me to get any access to the hidden aspect, I have to come back to the login. Then I'll be able to see the same option for the login. And even before we log in, this place is empty until I come back and enter, let's say admin. Then let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I click on the login before I'll have access to the hidden aspect, right? So now if I go back to the sidebar, now I have access to the other part of the app, which is the add post, analytics, and then profile. Very simple, right? So let's see how to make it more useful. This is the basic idea behind it, how to restrict or limit to only a certain session. So to add some basic feature to it, like the password, so I just come back to the same place here. Then I'm going to give it a simple stuff. So let's say if my password, the password the person entered is equal to, say 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then I'll do the remaining aspect, right? So I'll shift everything that I have under here, right? So if the password is equal to 1, 2, 3, then it's going to tell me that you have been successfully logged in, right? Else, same place. So else, not LC, but now you're using else. We tell the user that st.warning said incorrect password, no, incorrect, let's say username and password / password, right? So let's save it and see what you have done. If I come back now, so let's go back to the sidebar here. We have our home, everything is working as expected. If I go back to the home page and I click on the login, it's empty, everything is empty. Right now I can enter the username to admin, right? Then the password, let's use something like test. Consider this is test, because the password is not 1 2 3 4 5. If I click on the login, it's not going to log in. It's telling me that incorrect username and password. So that is how to keep and check the password, right? So this is something very basic, something very simple to help you understand the basic idea. So if I come back to the sidebar and I change the password from test to 1 2 3 4 5, now if I log in, now it's working. You can see the green button here, logged in as admin. Then I can have access to my sessions, right? Very interesting and very simple. So this is basics, right? Now let's add it in a way that you are supposed to do it, right? So the best way is to create a database in which you're going to store all your password, right? In which you're going to store all your passwords. So that's the best option. So this is okay, but this is not the best. There are thousands of users, right? So you can't be using this one. So the best way is that to create a database in which you store all your passwords. So before you can be able to do that, you have to create another option to register people, right? To sign up people. So I'll come back down here, then I'll do the same thing here. So let's make it simple. Then from here I'm going to create a new user. So let's call it as this is going to be create a new account. It's going to be new user, then this is not going to be a sidebar. We are going to put it here. So if the person come back to the side, not to the sidebar, but the person can select the app to sign up. So here, the person go to the sidebar and choose sign up, right? It's going to come to the main place, the main app, right? If you can see from here, the main app, not the sidebar. Unlike the login, which is at the sidebar. That is a basic difference. So I'll come back to the same place and create a test input for the new username. So it's going to be username. Can make it this. Then the next one is going to be the new password. Then I'm going to test input. See what I did. Test input, then password. Right. Then from here I can just go back straight away and give it a type. Go to password. Perfect. So that is it. So in this case we can just use a button. In this place, st.button. Then we're going to tell the person that you should sign up, right? Can be small app like this, sign up. Then you can now tell the user st.success. You have successfully created an account, right? A valid account, something like that. Then we just tell the person to move to the sidebar. So success again, or info. First to move. So go to login menu to login, something like that. So if I save it now and I come back to what you have done so far, we just created a test input to receive the username and then a password and a button to allow us to sign up, right? So if I come back here, now instead we have our username, the person can type in another one. So let's call this, let's say user 2. Then the password can be any name, so 1 2 3 4 5. Then sign up. It's going to give us the result. You have successfully created a valid, see what I spelled, invalid. Wrong English. You have created a valid account, or we can just leave it like that. Go to login menu to login. So now if I come back to the login menu, so I can just come back to the login menu here and I'll use the one I've created, but you have to store it inside the database. So let's use SQLite. You can use any database format, but let's use SQLite to help us with that. So I'll just come back to here, right? Let's create a new file, or let's make it at the top, then it will do it better. So going to be import SQLite 3. I'm going to create our connection as we did always. So import, then we're going to create our connection. The connection is going to be my SQLite 3 dot connect to a particular database, which is going to be, let's call it as data.db. It can be any name that you want it to be, right? And here we are going to go with going to create our header for connection dot or execution of stuff. That is all, right? So this is going to be for our DB stuff. DB management, right? That is all, right? Very simple. Now let's create our individual functions. So we're going to create our function to create a table, as we always do. Create table. So this is going to be the first function that's going to create a table. Then go with c.execute. Then it's going to be create table if that's not it. So I'll copy it and paste it to save us time. So let me paste it, right, to save us time, because the same code, right? So we are creating a user table. So we are creating table if not exist. The name of the table is going to be users table. Then we have one for the username, then one for the password, right? Then also created another function to add our username and the password into our database. So insert into user table the username and the password values. This is the best option. Otherwise, if you don't use it in the format of a string, you can be eligible to be susceptible to SQL injection, right? So this is the best option. This option is better and safer. You are passing it as a string, right, which is better. Then you're also going to create another function to check for the login. So I then select all from users table where the username is equal to this, and then the valid, and then the password is equal to this, right? Very interesting. Then you're going to pass in the result. So we have created four different functions. One to create a user table, one to add data into our table, and one to log in, right, to enable us to log in. So the login option is just this option. Just select SQL option, right? Very interesting. Now let's come back down here. So I'll come back to my sign up here. So if the person click on the button, I want to first of all create a table. Then after you have created a table, I'm now going to go in with the add data. So add user data. Now pass in the new user and then the new password. So this new user, new password is going to be added to our database. Perfect. Now I'm just going to come back to the same place, to the login option. Then from the login, I'm now going to be changing this one. So no more using of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You'll be using the new one that you created. Right, so we'll not be using this one. This is hard coded. We don't want this one. So I'm just going to comment this one out. Then let's create another one. So it's going to be if. So we'll be using, first of all, if the person click on the button, we're going to create a table. In case the table has not been created, you can put this function above so that it's already activated. Then from here, I'm just going to go with the function that you created, this particular function for the login user, right, in which the name and then the password is going to be passed into this particular function. You're going to check our database. If it is there, then you give access to the person, right? So that's the basic idea. So it's going to be if. So this is going to be the first function. Then we call this one as result. Then this is going to be my login user. Then the person's username, which is typing, and then the password. So this username and then the password is coming from this one. Username and password is coming from is the one that you are putting here, right? So if it is working perfectly, then they're going to say that if the result, then you just do the first one. So instead of using if password is equal to this, so if it returns a result, that means that these particular details can be found within our database, right? If that is the case, then give us our result, right? So let's save it. So the only thing we change is that we just remove the password here. We went into our database, which I've created, then we checked and see if the username and the password are there, then give us this, right? Otherwise, give us don't log us in. So let's check it out. So I'll come back to the same place here. So let's go back to the sidebar, right? You go to the sign up. Let's create a new one. So I'm going to create a new one. So let's call this one as, let's say, David. Then from here, I'll just enter in a password. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the password. Keep in your mind. Perfect. So you have successfully created a valid account. Go to the login menu to login. Then I'll come back to the sidebar here. Come back to the login option. So inside the login, now I can check it out. So I can just enter the name here, David. Then I'll check for the password. So the password was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'll click on the login. So I click on login. Because we have stored inside our database, you are going to be granted access, right? You said I have been granted access, logged in as David. Then we can do whatever we want to do. So if I go back to the profile, you can see that now inside our database, there's nothing there, so I can actually preview the user profile. So let's do that one. So we can just use something like this to help us with that, to see what you have been entering there. So let's use this function. We had a function above, so view all users. We are selecting everything from the user, so we'll be using that one here. So it's going to be, you can call that one as, let's say, users result. Then you use a view all users function. Then from here, I'm just going to call that my clean database. I'll use pandas to help us read it. So pd.data frame. We have to import pandas from above. It's going to be user result. Right. Perfect. So you can do it like that, but let's add a column to it. So let's add a column of, let's say, columns of username, and then next one is going to be, let's say, password. Right. These are the two main things inside our column, inside our data. Right, perfect. Then now we can just bring it up, test.data frame. Data frame, then I'm passing my clean database. So we are using pandas, so we have to import pandas above to help us with that. Right, this is not important, but let's do that. It's going to be import pandas as pd. Right, so let's save it. If I save it and I go back to the app that we have built so far, so now if I go back here, the user profile, we have our David and our password is there, right? So I've seen how to create a simple login to give us restrictions, right? But this is not the best option. You are supposed to hash this password. So in another session, when we are trying to apply this thing to our main app, we try and see how to add session to it. So let's recap. So the basic idea behind building a login is that, first of all, you're going to create your simple login, your 3 sessions, the open one, right? The home, the login, and the sign up, right? Then for the login, you're going to create a test user here to receive input from the user. That is for the login. Then after that, you're going to be comparing whatever the person enters into your database. You're going to check it, right, using this particular function. So using login user, this is the function here to help us with that. Select all from users table, when username is the username that the person type, and then the password is the password the person types. Then if it's found there, it's going to return it perfectly. Then you're going to, if it is true, you give the person access to all the other features of the app that is not for everybody, but only for sign-in users. Then if it's not true, just going to return an error. It's very simple. So the basic magic behind them is just this particular place. You are nesting it in a better format. Then also create another function to help us sign up. So we created a test input area for the password and for the username. Then you added the data using SQL or any database that you have. Then this data is going to be stored into our database. Then we can check it. That is the basic understanding behind it. So in the future, we'll try and see how to hash these things, because it's not safe. If anybody has access to this database, you can be able to get into it. So let's check on how to do that. So I'll just come back to the same place here. Can use Hashlib, can use any of them. There are several of them. So in the future, we'll be trying to see how to make it more secure. So thank you for watching this long tutorial. In case you have any question or contribution, you can just put inside the comment section below. And see you another time. Stay blessed. Bye.